This learning object is a production of Abu Dhabi Men's College, Center of Excellence for ICT and Learning Technology.
I'm going to talk to you about the basic structure of a hard news story. What I mean by hard news is event news. Something happens, a reporter goes out and reports on it. Now, when that happens, a reporter almost inevitably will write his story with a certain structure. It's called the inverted pyramid. Now, the inverted pyramid style of news writing is really very simple. You put all of your important facts up at the top of the story, and then you put them in descending order of importance down to the bottom. A pyramid has a broad bottom and a narrow top. So if we invert the pyramid, if we flip the pyramid around, we've got a wide top and a narrow bottom. And this reflects the inverted pyramid style of news writing. All of your important information goes up at the beginning, and all of your lesser information goes down at the bottom. Now, I hope there are no English teachers around, because what I'm going to tell you goes directly against what your English teacher has told you. Your English teacher teaches you to write in an academic style. So you start out with an introduction, you have an exposition, and you have a conclusion to your piece of writing. We don't do that in news. No introduction, no conclusion, only exposition. Now, there are three different ways to write a story. One is the academic style that your English teacher has told you. The other style of writing you'll often see is the chronological style. Most movies are done in this. You start at the beginning and you work your way through to the end based upon time. Most novels are written the same way. But let me ask you this. If I was coming into work this morning and I got out of the car and I put my foot down and I got stung by a scorpion, how do you think I would tell you that story? Would I go into the office and say, oh, I got up this morning, I had a shower, I had a coffee, I had some breakfast, I read the newspaper, I got in my car, I drove to work, oh, and by the way, I got stung by a scorpion? Of course I wouldn't tell it that way. That's the chronological way of telling it. I wouldn't tell it the academic way. I wouldn't come into the office and say, I have a story to tell you about something important that has happened to me recently. I wouldn't tell you that way either. I would tell you in the inverted pyramid way. I would come into the office and say, I just got stung by a scorpion. I don't feel too well. Can somebody take me to the hospital? That's the way I would tell you the story. That's the most efficient way for communicating important information. Put the important stuff at the beginning, don't worry about an introduction, and work your way down to the least important things. Now, what are the advantages of this? It matches the reader's habits. Most readers don't read an entire news story. They look at the headline, if that interests them. They read the first sentence, which is called the lead. If that still interests them, they continue reading down. But normally, most readers, in most cases, will quit before they get to the end of the story. Now, if the story is written in the inverted pyramid style of writing, they'll have already got all of the important information. So even if they quit halfway down, they've got the important information, and it's the less important information that they're discarding. Now, another advantage of it is it's standardized. It's the same all over the world. So if I'm a reporter in Abu Dhabi, or if I'm a reporter in London or New York, I still will be writing in the same style. Another advantage of it is it facilitates writing. It makes the writer's job easier. Very often, if I'm a reporter, I might spend my entire day doing research and interviews and gathering information, and that leaves me maybe half an hour in which to actually write my story. I don't want to have to be thinking of what is the best way to write this. I want to know, okay, what's my most important fact? That goes at the beginning. What's my next most important fact? That goes after it, and so on. It makes it very easy to write. And just as importantly, it makes it very easy to edit. Let's say my story is 800 words long, but the newspaper only has a space of 400 words. Well, the editor doesn't have to read through and take out this sentence and take out that sentence. All he has to do is cut the story halfway through, cut it at 400 words. And he knows that all of the important information will still be in there in those first 400 words. So these are the advantages of the inverted pyramid style of news writing. And when you're in English class, write like your English teacher tells you how to write. When you're writing journalism, write the way I'm telling you how to write.